finals of 1997, the senior final between Crossmaglen and Mullabon. And as we stand here, we're 20 minutes away from the county minor final between Piarsaigh Óga and Keady U18. Now I have beside me, I've just pulled him aside, I know he's going to be very busy today, is Jared Barton, the chairman of Piarsaigh Óga. Jared, we're no doubt all Piarsaigh Óga people are really looking forward to this first final from '88 and their last victory way back in '83 with that terrific 3-in-a-row team. What's going through your mind 20 minutes before the big game?
Right, we're all very tense. We're obviously in the boys in St Bridges there, and they've put a lot of work into this. We've worked very hard for it. It's part of our underage policy. This team has come from under 12 right up to under 14, under 16, and now we've reached the minor final. We just want to wish both teams the best of luck and hope they go out and enjoy the game of football today. And hopefully at the end of the day we'll take the minor cup back to Piarsaigh Óga.
Yeah, well, as you said, Jared, I think you echo everybody's sentiments here that we really do hope there's going to be a cracking game today. There's no doubt two brilliant teams. They've always had very close games at under 14 and juvenile level. And there'll be a lot of pressure on these Piarsaigh Óga lads, Jared. They're in their home ground. I'm sure you're worried about players freezing on the day.
Right, it's a big day for for our minors to say. A lot of them hasn't been this far before. We were up, as I was talking to them all earlier on, a lot of them is unsettled with nerves, but with the management of Kevin McCauley and Paul Grimley and Tommy Martin, these boys have been through this before. They've been through minor championships before. They'll be talking to them, they'll be telling them the ifs and the buts and what to do and what not to do. These boys know the score, so hopefully that'll help us on the day.
Well, Jared, I know you want to go down to the dressing room to wish the team all the best. Certainly from our video camera here and up front, we're really looking forward to this. We're going to hopefully do Piarsaigh Óga's pride, and hopefully that Keady and Piarsaigh Óga will provide the game that we all hope. Best of luck.
Yeah, thanks, Paul.
Taking Brother Ennis from his vantage point up here in the Canaris. Brother, an awful lot of these players went through your guidance at schoolboy level and college level. I'm sure you're really looking forward to this game.
Yeah, I'd say about nearly half of both teams would have gone to St Patrick's at various stages, and I think it's a great credit to this area, to the mid, and also to the schools in this area that we have two teams from the mid contesting the minor final. And I think over the next 3 or 4 years the mid will be very strong, judging by the underage teams that are coming along, and long may it continue.
Yes, and brother, on your thoughts on the game today, it's going to be very evenly contested.
Well, I think it'll be, I haven't seen Keady playing this year, but going from the people from our own school and the people I've met at minor level, they will extend the Ógas to the very limit. But maybe the overall thing, if both teams can play the potential, the Ógas may have that little bit of a better balanced team. So it's all there for the taking.
Okay, brother, well maybe we'll grab a comment at half time and at the end of the game, and thanks very much for your words. Okay, Brother Ennis. So Brother Ennis, Reverend Brother Ennis, who has now retired as county minor manager, his thoughts on the day. And we're moving very quickly. There's already crowds coming in here to the athletic grounds. If we can just span around. From 1 o'clock, this Canaris building up here has been really busy. There are people coming in. There's an estimated 10,000 people coming here today to see the All-Ireland champions, Crossmaglen. And their county, Ulster and All-Ireland title is up for grabs today. And the footballers of Mullabon, their close neighbours and fiercest rivals, they're going to be the ones who are going to try and take the title off Crossmaglen. As I said, crowds already coming in. A lot of people in to see the minor game between the Ógas, Piarsaigh Óga and Keady. I see Jerome Nugent down there giving us a wave. As I say, a lot of people coming in here for this one. A lot of all their families will be here, and as I speak, the footballers from Piarsaigh Óga are out for their warm-up. They were up in the St Bridget's School this morning. They were up in St Bridget's School for a bit of a warm-up. They've now gone on to the field. I think there's something in the region of 31 players in their panel. Their management of Kevin McCauley, Tommy Martin, Paul Grimley, Franco Patterson and Paul Jackson out with them. So this is really a big day for these players. The news is, of course, that Paul Nugent, their brilliant centre half back, Paul is out. He missed the semi-final replay against Lackrow O'Neill's, and a very unfortunate injury to young Paul. Well, Paul cannot play. He is out, and they're really going to miss him, but such is the strength and depth of this Óg panel. I can take you through the team. As they prepare for their pre-match photograph. Kieran McKinney lines out, he's in goals. Full-back, Robert McKaig, only 15 years of age, he's in at right full-back. Thomas Clark, son of Adrian, the Pearse Óg PRO full-back. Stephen Hughes is left full. Half-back line of Roland Toner, Kieran McManus and Tomas Duggan. Midfield is Mark Slavin and Declan Macaulay. Declan, of course, a younger brother of Kevin, who manages the team. The half forward line is Darren Macaulay, Smacker as they know him in the Pearse Ógs. Ronan McWilliams and Chris Keating is in at left half forward, and the full forward line is made up of Ronan Clark, again like Robert McKaig, very young, only 15 years of age. Paul McKiernan, the captain, whose brother Greg did goals for Pearse Ógs in several county finals, and of course the dual player with the Cuchullins of Armagh. And Barry Gordon, his father Joe, has done so much work at underage level for Pearse Ógs, and whose uncle Sean, a great compatriot of my own, whose uncle Sean was the captain of Pearse Ógs twice when they won the McKillop Cups back in 1985 and 1988. So down below us you can see John O'Kane sporting his, and he's really looking forward to this. Of course, Pat Malloy never misses a game at any level, and Sean Cullen, great Pearse Ógs men, and really looking forward to this tremendous occasion. So we'll take a break here. The Keady team aren't out yet, and you can join us for the county minor final between Pearse Ógs and Keady in a couple of minutes. So welcome back to the athletic grounds. Just after 10 to 2, we're about 8 minutes away from the county minor final. Pearse Ógs have already been out in the field at about 1:45. They're warming up with those quick passing movements, trying to get warmed up. It's very blustery here at the athletic grounds. There's a breeze that seems to be blowing unusually up the field towards the Dalton Road end. But even from our point up here in the Canaris, it's quite blustery, so it is. Keady are out on the field. The Keady Dwyer's team that will take the field today, it's as selected in the programme. Declan McLeanan's in goals, brother of Frankie, played for Keady Dwyer's. The full back line of Jarlath Connolly, Ronan Toll and Kevin Bagan. The half-back line, Philip Kirk, right half-back, whose father Sean has done so much work for Keady Dwyer's down through the years. Paul McCormick, son of Jim, and Mickey McAnally. Midfield for Keady, Chris Woods and Jared Enright. The half-forward line, Conor Breen, Keith McGuinness, and their captain is Raymond Murray, their left half-forward. And the full-forward line, we have two brothers at the corner forwards, Mark Hughes, Stephen Comiskey, son of Don, and Darren Hughes, who's a brother of the other corner forward. He's lining out at corner forward. So we'll let Sean McCann take you through the teams, and we'll be back in a couple of minutes.
Finals at minor and senior level. In the minor final beginning at 2 o'clock, Sean McGuire's of Keady play Pearse Ógs of Armagh. The minor championship in County Armagh is sponsored by Classic Mineral Water of Lurgan. Jen Rachel Aves on you na Eamon O'Ninshine as Spurin Can McDermott Aaron Wahar. Today's minor final referee is Eamon Nugent. Anish Nathurnia, the teams. And Keady. Everett number 1, Declan McLeanan. Everett number 2, Jarlath Connolly. Everett number 3, Ronan Toll. Everett Cahart number 4, Kevin Deegan. Everett Creek number 5, Philip Kirk. Everett Shea number 6, Paul McCormick. Everett Shop number 7, Michael McNally. Along the parquet in the middle of the field, Everett Hop number 8, Christopher Woods. Everett Knee number 9, Jared Enright. The Tussey Hill, the forwards. Everett Jake number 10, Connor Green. Everett Hinjake number 11, Keith McGuinness. Everett Doye number 12, Raymond Murray. Everett Treejake number 13, Mark Hughes. Everett Caherjake number 14, Stephen Conisky. Everett Creejake number 15, Darren Hughes. Anish Firan na Piarsaigh Óga at Armagh, the Pearse Oaks team. There are a number of positional changes on the Pearse Oaks team. Everett number 1, Kieran McKinney. Everett number 2, Robert McKay. Playing at fullback and wearing number 6 will be Thomas Clark. Everett Cahart number 4, Stephen Hughes. Everett Craig number 5, Ronan Toner. Playing centre half back and wearing number 14 will be Kieran McManus. Left half back, Everett Shop number 7, Thomas Duggan. A line of parka in the middle of the field, Everett Hop number 8, Mark Slevin. Everett Knee number 9, Declan McCauley. The Tussey Hill, the forwards. Everett Jake number 10, Darren McCauley. Everett Hinjake number 11, Ronan McWilliams. Playing left half forward and wearing number 17, Chris Keating. Playing right full forward and wearing number 18, Roland Clark. Playing full forward and wearing number 15, Paul McKiernan, captain of the team. And playing left full forward and wearing number 13, Barry Gordon.
Thomas Clark, fullback. Thomas Clark, fullback, number 6. 4's alright. 5's alright,
the stewards over at the seats are asked to take up their positions.
He's wearing number 14. And Tomas Diggins alright. Number 7. Slevin, 8. Slevin and 9.
McMullen. Medical assistance is also provided by the Order of Malta ambulance in Armagh, and the ambulance is stationed just below the Canaris.
The PR man here took us through the teams between Pearse Oaks and Keady. I've been joined by Colin McKinstry. Colin, looking forward to this minor game. Two very evenly matched teams. Can you just take us through your feelings, the conditions, and the teams themselves?
Well, looking outside, Paul, conditions and excellent. A bit of a breeze blowing from right to left, but the two captains there, Raymond Murray of Keady and young Paul McKiernan Pearse Óga just trotting back to give the final words of encouragement to both their sides. Both these teams came through well this year in the championship. They're tall, plenty of football ability in them. I think most people within the county is looking forward to what should be an excellent match, a game of football at minor level. Just going into Pearse Óga's team here, they have two college all-stars here, Declan Macaulay and young Barry Gordon. Gordon are switched to the top of the left for the Ógs. It should be a real battle between him and young Jarlath Connolly from Keady. The usual familiar sign there of both these sides, Paul, getting into the huddle and, as I say, the words of encouragement.
Yeah, I suppose the huddle, which is I suppose a fairly new concept to the modern GAA game, but it's that last moment where the captain gets his team together and issues those last words of encouragement. This is a really tense day for both all these players, and whether you're on the subs bench or whether you're playing or whether you're watching, and if you're from Keady and Pearse Óga, it's a marvellous occasion and really not one to be missed. But as you said, I was just looking down through the second round. Keady notched up 3-11 against Wolf Tones, who scored 110. Pearse Óga were capable of 13 points that day. They beat Kilclooney, only by 3 points. And then in the semi-finals, Keady scored 14 points against the Enendas 1-5, while Pearse Óga and Lackrow O'Neills had to play it twice. So both teams capable of scoring, Colin.
True. There again, a lot will depend sort of on Eamon Nugent, the man in the middle, the Mahary man. He knows a lot of these boys from old, and saying that there. And there's been some great first round battles in these games. As I said, Keady 3 games 4. Their scoring rate has been 7 goals, 36 points. Pearse Óga 6 games, 5 goals, 78 points. A total of 93 and a total of 57 for Keady. But they're ready to go here anyway. Just more or less Eamon Nugent having a look round at his umpires, his linesmen, getting his watch fixed, and everything's all systems go now. Just virtually seconds away. I'll hand you back to Paul.
Right, Colin, thank you. Seconds away. We're just after 2 o'clock. The county minor final. Pearse Óga's playing up into the Dalton Road end. Keady playing down, and referee Eamon Nugent throws the ball in. We're away here, and it's Declan Macaulay, the first man on the ball, drives a low ball in towards Paul McKiernan. Ball goes loose. McWilliams tackled to Mark Slevin, and we have a Pearse Óga player down at the minute. He received quite a knock there. Ready tackles coming in. It's Roland McWilliams received a knock there.
Good play there, incidentally. Well, referee let it go on ahead, so he did. Keady with possession.
This is dangerous. Thomas Clark does well. Left-footed ball. That's a free for Keady. Number 5 there being fouled. Philip Kirk. Been fouled by Chris Keating, so Philip Kirk tries to use the corner forward. Not a good ball. Declan Macaulay uses his solos. Left-footed ball. Bad ball again, only as far as number 6. Yes, that's Paul McCormick, son of Jim. And away go Keady again. And Keady started quite brightly at the minute. Player being fouled here. Keady starting well, Colin.
They're starting well. Pearse Óga's trying to get out of their own half here, but this strong breeze that's blowing into their faces, so it's all Keady at this particular stage. The young Keady forward Conor Breen there, it looks as though he's going to be the man to take this.
So Conor Breen, left-footed, uses the wind. Oh, uses it very well too. Uses it expertly. So Keady go into the lead. That was a great free kick, Colin.
It was. He judged it to perfection, Paul. Left-footed, hit it high, sort of with the wind, and curled it in lovely. A great opening score, a great start here for Keady. Just more or less about 3 minutes old. So the goalkeeper here, McKinney, now in the Ógs, will drive this out against the wind. Hits it well, but
up into the middle of the field it goes. Players converge. Mark Slevin, the one being fouled. Referee Nugent. There's an awful lot of man-to-man marking. Keady the back's obviously been told to mark very tight against this Pearse Óga forward line. Declan Macaulay drive. Kieran McManus tries. Great catch. Super catch that time by Roland Toll. And a good ball. Yes, that's out towards. Oh, number 5, Philip Kirk. Well hit indeed by Kieran McManus. Conor Breen Down towards Darren Hughes, and Darren wins the free. It's good football, Colin.
Good football so far, but it was a great strike there by McManus, man-to-man marking, and hit him well. Referee allowed play to go on ahead, so as I say, Keady have won this free now, about just 40-odd metres out from the Piarsaigh goal. So the half-back Paul McCormick, their son of Jim's, will come in to take this.
Up, Paul McCormick. Again, using the wind, that's going to go the whole way. Oh, marvellous strike by Paul McCormick. Used the wind to his advantage. Colin, that may have been actually kicked against the wind.
Yeah, he hit it high, so he did, Paul. He was hoping more or less for the wind to carry it on, but as I say, it's hard for us to judge what way it's going. You know, the wind, it's blowing into our faces, but out there it could be a different ball game altogether.
Okay, Kieran McKinney has played in goals all of his young footballing life. Up he comes, down towards the middle of the field, towards Mark Slavin. Brilliant catch by Slavin. He tries to get Darren McCauley, but that's great defending by Michael McAnally. And again, great defending there by young Robert McCaig, only 15 years of age, a juvenile footballer for Piarsaigh Óga. So, well played, McCaig. Roland Toner, the short ball, again, good marking by Keady. Declan McCauley comes onto it, trying to get Barry Gordon into it. Toll does well, several players converge on it, and it's a free for Piarsaigh Óga. And referee Nugent will move that on, and he'll move it forward, and Darren McCauley will be very glad of that. So I would imagine it'll be Darren McCauley on his left foot. Up he comes, strikes, and there's the score. So Ógs pull one back by from Darren McCauley. Smacker, as he's known in footballing terms, follows great soccer player Davy McCauley, and now Darren getting the first score for Piarsaigh Óga's column.
Yeah, that should settle him okay, Paul. But just looking there, Mark Slevin there, he caught a couple of great balls there till release his forwards, but young McNally there for the Keady was able to more or less cut out the supply there very quick.
So Declan McLeanan comes up towards Slavin. Slavin fisted on. First to react, left hand back for Keady. McAnally again does well, and he gets Paul McCormick moving. Back to McCormick again, plays that 1-2. Keady moving well. This is good play. Breen on the ball. Now it's young Hughes. That's a dangerous ball, and that'll be dangerous for any defender. First to react there is Stephen Comiskey, but away it goes. Thomas Clark, and drives out, well played Thomas Clark, great clearance, pushing the back. Referee could have let it go on, but indeed he did, but he's going to pull. I think it was actually too many steps. It was, I think it was Roland Clark was trying to take maybe a few steps, Colin.
He was, Paul, that there again, Eamon Nugent on the spot, seeing what was happening, and very quick to pull him back.
Mark Slavin this time, long, dangerous ball. That's going wide. Going wide, Paul McKiernan just not able to keep that one in play.
No real pattern yet, Paul, as such, but Keady looked the more dangerous when they're on the raid. The odd raid more or less from the Ógs, but as I say, a long way to go yet. We've only, 9 minutes play and 2 points to 1 for Keady, but...
McLeanan kicks out. This is Chris Keating. He has come into the team. Chris trying to find McKiernan or Gordon. Good defending again by Keady. Number 9 running on is Jared Enright. I think he's going to get it first. Maybe Darren McCauley's there. That's a Piarsaigh Óga's ball. Crowd over on the other side of the pitch not particularly happy about that, but Darren McCauley, he'll use that left foot to put this Keady defence under pressure. There it is, allows the wind to take it. Again, it's dangerous. Barry Gordon's there. Ball's on the ground. Yes, Piarsaigh Óga win their free. And indeed, the player going down, I think, was Ronan Clark, winning the free. Colin?
Funny enough, that free now was in the square, the big parallelogram, so whether Eamon Nugent has seen it as a free, so simple enough. Look and score. He drives it between the posts.
So, and it's Barry Gordon, number 13. As Colin was saying earlier, one of two colleges all-stars in the teams, on the Piarsaigh team, along with Declan McCauley. So Barry Gordon gets the second score, so it's level pegging at 2 points each here at the athletic grounds. McLean kicks down towards the middle of the field, well held that time. Centre half back Paul McCormick doing well. McAnally is left half back, who's a good footballer, and Keady move again. This time centre half back McCormick losing possession, but managing to keep us forwards going, and Keady are looking dangerous here. Strong run here by their midfielder. Oh, great block, but still Keady on the ball. Hughes to Breen. Dangerous for Thomas Clark. Still dangerous. And we have umpire's hand up, signals of 45 for Keady. That was a strong run by, I think it was Chris Woods, Colin.
Yeah. Woods just more or less shrugged tackles off there, ran on through. Piarsaigh sort of were falling back all the time, you know, allowed him to come on in, and not one hit him at all. So it's food for thought. You know, it's just looking down at Scaldy McCauley and Paul Grimley. They're going to have to more or less watch this fellow Woods.
Yes, and Paul McCormick is going to take this. Is it? A minute ago he put one from 40 metres out of his hands. This time he's right in the 45, off the ground. Good enough kick, will go harmlessly wide. So it's 2 points each, Keady and Piarsaigh.
Awful waste that ball there. You know, he sort of hit it in hope type of thing. He should have kept it in play maybe, and possibly as forwards or whatever. At least the ball was still in play, but he hit it harmlessly wide.
Right, Colin, thank you. And Kieran McKinney kicks out, but again Keady, the Dwyer's pressing against Piarsaigh. That's going to be a free up. Keady management, Tom McShane, formerly of Cross McGlen, who himself won a senior medal way back in 1984 with Keady Dwyer's. Now, number 4 drops that. Kevin Bagan has recovered all right, no decision yet in the referee, and again young Bagan comes out and wins his free and did very well. Colin, a point to note is a lot of these Keady players are all dual players at hurling and football. They can take knocks.
They can take knocks, as you say, Paul. They've been through the mill in the hurling, especially hurling. Hurling is a hard, tough game, but well enough they can withstand the football abilities of Piarsaigh is another thing we can see in another few minutes here.
Yeah, well, I mean, the game's really starting to liven up as Declan McCauley takes that pass from Kieran McManus. Mark Slevin to Darren McCauley on his left foot. Keady defence backs off, and Smacker McCauley sends the ball over the bar. Great score. Swift move, Colin, as you were talking about the footballing skills of Piarsaigh.
A swift move there from midfield until young McCauley. That's his second point now. The Oaks haven't won this Frank Hanna Cup now since 1992, and I think it was 92 the last win in it, was it? And I think it was 84 for Keady, but they're looking to get their hands back onto this here, this trophy once again. A great win there, a good score. Great score for Piarsaigh. Chris Keating does very well, goes past his man, but well tackled that time by McCormick, and he gets. Well, that's well played. Number 12, Raymond Murray, the captain of Keady, steaming down. He's been chased by, and found that, well robbed that time by McCauley. McManus comes away. Chris Woods losing. Back to Breen, to Hughes. Young Darren Hughes, and a good, this time midfielder falls, Enright. Back to Hughes, Keady. Yeah, it's great defending by Piarsaigh. Watching the ball. Great defending there, Paul, as you say. The O's watched the man, watched the ball, and just more or less bided their time and snapped in there very, very quick. So good defending by Piarsaigh. They're beginning to stamp their authority in this minor final. McCauley tries to get Barry Gordon going. No foul given.
Toll runs with Paul McKiernan. The ball's not out yet. Toll's first to react. Good running. Keady come away. Strong clearance. Down as far as Declan McCauley. Oh, well played, McCauley. And now he tries to get Chubb McWilliams going. Roland McWilliams, he's hit, but Piarsaigh Óga's keep moving on. It's Darren McCauley on the left foot. And blasted wide. That was a real chance. We have a player injured, Colin.
Yeah, McCauley went down there as he hit, but Óga's coming more and more into this game now. They've settled, they've took the lead, and as I said, the midfield has sort of soaked up the pressure, maybe in particular from Youngwoods, but a couple of the Óga's men there getting encouragement there from Paul Grimley on young Scaldy, ex-Óga's players. A lot of awards will go on. Jim McCormick more or less motivating his players on there too, so a lot of football to come along yet.
Yeah, as you say, there's a lot of Ken McCauley still playing for Piarsaigh Óga, but former greats Jim McCormick, Paul Grimley and Tommy Martin out urging these players on. A quick word of encouragement or a quick word of advice been given as Declan McLeanan prepares to take another kick out. The wind drops slightly. Up he comes for just reaching the first quarter. That's well reacted that time by McWilliams. Bad ball to Barry Gordon. Keady come away, move it out nicely. That's well played. And then the long ball down. Oh, well taken by Kieran McManus. McManus with number 14. He's an excellent footballer. That's great ball to Darren McCauley on his left foot. And again, tries to get Barry Gordon going, and it does in fact reach Barry Gordon. This could be dangerous for Keady. Gordon slowing it up, goes round with ease. His marker. Oh, lovely score by Barry Gordon. Tremendous composure there, Colin.
Great stuff. Looked at the post, so he did, but looked at the man in the eyes and just went to his left and just sold it on through him, tapped it over the bar. That's why he's an all-star, Paul.
Indeed, Colin, and really giving young Charles Connolly there some. You mean when you're a defender and somebody does that to you, you begin to get the signs of danger, Colin.
Oh, you would do, surely. Connolly now, he's wary of him, so he is. He's a long way to go yet, just 16 minutes there, and 4-2 for Piarsaigh, gradually pulling away.
And again, Piarsaigh, this is Chris Keating, and again he tries to get Gordon going, and Gordon fouled that time. I'm not so sure about that when he thought he was going to take a quick one. Referee again, that'll be another blow for young Connolly, Colin.
It will be, but he put the foot in, more or less for the ball. Gordon was bending down. 9 times out of 10, you'll get the free.
And that's what happens when you give away frees close in. Piarsaigh Óga take a 5-2 lead from the boot of Barry Gordon, who had a tentative shaky start, but now he's beginning to come into this game, and you could see Chris Keating along with Mark Slevin. They're trying to get Gordon. They're trying to get Gordon into the game. I was talking to Tommy Martin only very, very recently before the game, and he told me that the ploy was that to bring Gordon out the corner forward. Young McLeanan kicks out, and again Piarsaigh Óga's come away, and it's Chris Keating who has made a great start. He's come in, and Keating may foul the ball. Keady did well. Philip Kirk down below us here, running onto it. That's well played by Raymond Murray, but he's robbed by Ronan Toner. The high ball in towards those two big men. Oh, well defended that time. Keady come out with it. Paul McCormick or Mickey McNally. He's a good player, left half back. Away comes Raymond Murray. Well taken. That's a foul and possible booking there. No, for Ronan Toner. Maybe a word from the referee. Some great defending, Colin.
Some great defending, some great skills from these young lads, but it's a bit alarming there. What Keady has gone 12, 13 minutes without their score. The first two scores, third and the fifth minute, but now we're into the 20th minute, so there could be alarm bells ringing there.
Indeed, and that was Robert McCaig who did very well to set McWilliams going, and this could be dangerous. Keating's underneath it. He has been fouled, and this could be a penalty kick. He still is down, the same player. It's just outside the square or outside the parallelogram column.
Yeah, it looked earlier there, as I was saying, Paul, that Piarsaigh Óga were awarded the free, and I thought it was maybe inside the square, but even give the free just more or less for Piarsaigh Óga. This time he looked as he is inside the square, but once again Eamon was on the spot. He is likely to give the free in rather than the penalty, but he's the man with the whistle, and he makes the decisions The young forward is up on his feet again, and
he's up on his feet, and Barry Gordon stands holding the ball straight in front of the goals, just outside the parallelogram. He's going to kick it out of his hands, as he often does, and he tops that one over the bar. So Piarsaigh go into a 6-2 lead. 20 minutes gone. Colin was saying, you know, Keady needed to get scores here to get back into this game.
this is it. Piarsaigh scored in the 6th minute, 10th, 14th, 16th, 17th and 20th. Like, it's a long, and Keady playing downhill. We don't know what way the breeze is blowing. It's easy enough for us to say, but yeah, the guys.
That's a great catch there by Chris Woods, and he feeds it out to Paul McCormick using the hand pass, and he feeds it back to Philip Kirk. Nice football from Keady. They're trying to move the ball, and they're still moving it to Enright, and who tries for the spectacular score, but he drives that one wide. Column. Good move, poor finish.
Good move, the short pass, and sort of broke into Piarsaigh's defence there, but a woeful shot there by young Enright just at the as the final end of it.
Midfield. The ball comes into midfield where Enright reacts first. Declan McCauley gets a foot to it. This is Darren Hughes, Mark Hughes, brother of Darren, and he's still on the ball, and he manages to poke it through to Keith McGuinness. Again, dangerous here. Comes off the post. Still a chance. And the score. So, the applause from the Keady folk. They'll be glad of that one, Colin.
There will be that ball just more or less rasping off the post, and Comiskey quick to react, right-footed, and tapped it over the bar. So they need that score coming up towards half-time. I guess 22 minutes gone now. 6
points to 3. Piarsaigh's lead Keady. There's really very little between these teams. At the minute, Piarsaigh's are playing the better football, but Keady showing what they can do, and they'll take great encouragement from that as Kieran McManus first to react. Great ball to Darren McCauley. Rounds his marker. Left foot up towards Paul McKiernan. McKiernan been marked well. Philip Kirk comes out. Barry Gordon on it now, and he'll go for the big score. Oh, tremendous score, Colin, from Gordon that time.
Unbelievable. What a future this fella has in front of him if he can continue what he's at now. Just turned on a sixpence there and just drive it high and long, just straight between the posts. Great score.
He really is. He's a super prospect, strong and good on the ball with both feet. McLeanan kicks out. Philip Kirk does well. Oh, great catch by young Kirk, and that's a foul. And indeed, yes, Declan McCauley will be spoken to by the referee, and young Kirk for that. Hit him quite hard there, Colin.
He did hit him quite hard just as he came down, but it's like everything else is all part and parcel with these young lads. They get used to this, and
well, Philip Kirk, of course, will be made of stern stuff. His father Sean's a great motivator, a great manager of Keady teams, and away comes Raymond Murray, their captain. Oh, that's not a good ball, but very well played by Woods. Unlucky just from the right-hand post. Again, a chance going missing for Keady.
This is it, another great chance there for Keady, but funny enough, the last score there by Comiskey was just on the 22nd minute, was just cancelled out there by Barry Gordon, who's got 5 points to date now.
Yeah, 5 points and a half is not bad stuff. In fact, in 25 minutes is great scoring rate, and the Oaks have other players, Darren McCauley and McWilliams, who can take the mantle as well, but Gordon really is showing what he's made of. 3 Keady players went for that. Declan McCauley waited for it and indeed got it, and he tries to find Kieran McManus, number 14, left foot, good play by McManus, comes down below us. Chris Keating does well. Away goes young Keating, and he yes, and a great score by Keating, absolutely brilliant. It was actually Ronan Clark, young Ronan Clark, got Keating away, and in space Keating topped the ball over the bar. So Piarsaigh again getting the scores column.
Yes, that's what it's all about. Keating was released there, and he just headed on towards goal, stopped, paused 1-2, and just tapped it over the bar.
See, young Roland Clark has come out, and again wins is free. This is Roland McWilliams. He's going to leave that for the player of the moment really with Piarsaigh is Barry Gordon. He's beyond the 45. In fact, he's just going to take it on the 45. He's going to kick it out of his hands. Let's see what he'll do. Not so good. It's still in play. Philip Kirk reacts, loses control, wins it again. McKiernan comes in with the tackle. Barry Gordon goes in strong. And still Gordon goes in strong. This fella Gordon's a great prospect, Colin.
He's a great prospect. Looking at the shoulders he has on him under and the thighs, you know, he's a great prospect. Has a look at it, just tops it high, just tops it over the bar. 6 points to date for him.
So simple, and really great credit to him, because he was the one who went in among the ruck of players and won that free, and really is giving young Jarlath Conley a very testing time, the right full back. Say Barry Gordon scored 6 points. And again, young McLean drives the ball out to where Ronan Clark is. Oh, great catch by Ronan Clark. Only 15 years of age, to McWilliams. This time he goes on his right foot. Well taken there. The ball goes loose. Yes, I thought it was a free. Kevin Bagan doing very well. So as we approach half-time, Piarsaigh Óga's leading here at the Athletic Grounds, 9 points to 3. Their managers will be very pleased with their performance. Raymond Murray looked to be fouled that time. Paul McCormick tries to get McAnally going. McAnally doing very well. Low ball, bad ball to Kieran McManus. Or to Robert McCaig. To Declan McCauley. Tries to get Mark Slevin. He gives it to Chubb McWilliams. Back to Slevin. This is good football by Piarsaigh Óga. Keeping possession, looking for their men. And the ball out to big Paul McKiernan, captain of the team. First real chance for Paul McKiernan. The left-footed drive. Oh, heavens. What a score. First real chance for Paul McKiernan, and what a score, Colin.
An inspirational score. What a captain should do. He leads by example, and he showed his team where he wanted to go. He hit it high, hit it long, and drove it straight between the posts. So he has one hand on that Frank Hanna Cup at the moment. He wants the two hand, but another long way to go yet.
Paul McKiernan, great score. Again, a great football by Darren McCauley. Two Keady men have collided. Darren McCauley drifting. Has he fouled the ball? No. Again, we have a Keady man outstretched on the field. Play moves on. The referee wisely holds the ball up. Do you see what happened there, Colin?
I didn't. I think it was just more or less a clash. They all went together and just more or less head down. But at the moment, Piarsaigh Óga's going through a purple patch here. They can do no wrong heading up the hill. As I say, everything going well for them. But what a score there by McKiernan.
Yeah, it was McKiernan's first real chance. I suppose we better say they've immediately called for the Order of Malta to go out and give assistance. We have also Dr. McMullen here at the Athletic Grounds today, who we were talking earlier, let's hope he's not needed, but here's a player who has received a bit of a blow, but just on that point of Paul McKiernan's received the ball, turned onto his left foot, used the space and drove it over the bar. It really was and it was his first real opportunity, Colin.
It was really his first, you could say maybe his first touch of the ball, but what an inspirational score as we're fast approaching half time. And funny enough, the player Michael McNally, he's up on his feet. He seems to maybe have got a knee in the back, and as you say, great to see the first aid and the doctor all in attendance, because in this day and age, you know, injuries come quick and fast, and there have been a lot of fatalities that has happened in Gaelic football. So the player up on his feet again, and Eamon Nugent.
Eamon throws the ball up. McCormick does well, drives it out. McCauley will win that with ease. To Barry Gordon again, goes past his marker. Oh, well tackled that time. Chris Woods comes under it, does very well. The tackles come in on Woods, still hasn't got control of it. Has it now.
Gordon a wee bit selfish there. Thomas Dugan has just more or less run on in front of him. He could have released the ball, but the Keady man was quick to pounce on him.
So Jarlath Conley. Down below us. That's well punched on. Mark Slevin. It was punched on by Kieran McManus. He's been excellent in the first half. Mark Slevin. Not a good ball to Ronan Clark. McNally does well. Only as far as Declan McCauley, who has had another storming first half. Yes, does very well that time. This is Keating, but away come Keady. Keady Dwyer's move on to it. Well played that time by Mark Hughes. To McNally. And now a chance for Keady to open up this Óga's defence. They're back in numbers, however. He'll have to drive it in, and indeed he does, out towards Darren Hughes. Being tackled. Oh, well played. Slipped his marker very well indeed, and he's still moving. Or Mark Hughes, the chance of the score, and the block comes down from Stephen Hughes. No decision yet, player on the ground. He may throw the ball up. I do believe, yes, he's going to throw it up. No advantage given one way or the other. Up it goes again. It's still Pearse Óga will want to clear. Keady pressing. Still pressing. He's going to maybe throw it up again. Half time must be approaching, Colin.
It's fast approaching, Paul. Pearse Óga's into double figures, 10 points till 3 in place of Keady. Keady need a score here, just more or less going into half time.
Again, for the third time, the ball is thrown up in the same position. Keady first to react. That will go harmlessly wide. Will go harmlessly wide, and as somebody said behind me that the Ógs really have missed very little. Keady have missed, Colin, whenever they got the chances.
They have. They've shot very rationally, type of thing. The Ógs, any time they've went on the raid, they've scored. They've punished Keady. When Keady came down, they have shot very rationally. But as I say, Pearse Óga's were the leaders at the moment.
Super catch. Super catch by Mark Slavin, and indeed the player who went up with him has crashed to the ground, but it really wasn't Keith McGuinness. It really was tremendous catch, and away comes Pearse Óga with the jersey been pulled there. And again, young McGuinness lying outstretched on the field.
Well, once again, accidental type of thing. You know, he went up for the ball and the players clashed. Keady got, or Pearse Óga's got away with it quick, but young McGuinness ended up poleaxed.
He did, and really, Pearse Óga's they look a well drilled side, column. There's a fair pattern to their play.
There is a fair pattern. As I say, their management has them well tutored. They've worked hard with them all year, and like most of them, a lot of them maybe 18, 15, 16. It says a hell of a lot more or less for the Ógs in the future.
It really does. I mean, this team have won the 2 juveniles back to back. They're going for and they're in for their 3rd county juvenile as Darren Macaulay. County juvenile final as Darren Macaulay takes it. Oh dear! Oh, fantastic score by Darren Macaulay. What a score, Colin.
From the moment he left his boot, he hit it, he struck it well, but he followed right through with his boot, and it went high and it went long and just straight over the black spot. So
brilliant score. I mean, you have Barry Gordon, you have McKiernan, you have Darren Macaulay capable of scores like that. As surely half-time must approach, and this is young Ronan Clark, and Clark, head down, he'll have to lift the head. He tries to go around his man, he wins his free. Mark Slavin's going to leave it for Barry Gordon. He'll hit, yes, he goes for the short one, and Gordon's away after it, but again it's Darren Macaulay, and this time he'll go with the outside of the boot, and that is sheer class, Colin. That really is magic.
Is magic, as you say, Paul. Unbelievable. 12 points till 3. Taking their points well, not looking goals, just taking the easy score, and they look home in the boat now at the moment.
Really do. I mean, from the moment Darren Macaulay slipped his marker, and then to swerve it over the outside of the boot this time, tremendous skill.
This is it. Eamon Nugent calls for half-time.
Half-time, and really Keady Dwyer will be very, very glad to see half-time approach. It's 12 points to 3 as the players come in down below us here in the athletic grounds. Keady maybe going to stay Pearse Óga's in very, very quickly. And it'll be a very, very happy Pearse Óga's team as young Darren Macaulay comes in very happy with his performance.
Just looking at them there, Paul, Tommy Martin and co has them well tutored. They all know what they're doing. They know who to look for, and vice versa. It's not just a one-man team. This Ógs side. It's a 15-plus effort.
I think again I'm getting the instructions from yourself, Colin, and also my brother Sean behind me. He pointed out that the Pearse Óga's half-forward line really tremendous. Of Darren Macaulay, McWilliams, and Keating. But I'm also very impressed by their centre-half back, Kieran McManus, who's wearing number 14.
McManus had a couple of great blocks there, just as Keady were pushing. He just blocked it as the Keady player was just about to more or less score. But as I say, McManus and in particular now Macaulay up front with Gordon. Gordon has what 6 points to date.
Yeah.
Macaulay has 4 plus the inspirational score from McKiernan. So basically this whole forward line of Piarsaigh Óga are capable of scoring.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to the second half now. So we'll take a short break for a couple of minutes just to recharge our batteries. So the half-time score here in the minor final: Piarsaigh Óga's 12, Keady U18's 3 points. Okay, we're ready for the second half. Just a word on Frank Hanna, the Frank Hanna Memorial Cup resting down on the platform below us. Frank, who was in charge of the county minors, Armagh minors, way back in 1977, and he died in tragic circumstances July 1978 as referee Eamon Nugent. Oh, Murray, that's a very, very heavy tackle. Oh dear, oh dear. Sure who it was there, but he was really, Piarsaigh Óga player really hit. Could be Tomas Duggan. Duggan is down, and he was hit very, very, very hard by the McGuinness. Tomas Duggan, who captained Piarsaigh Óga's in their juvenile title 2 years ago. We're just speaking, Colm, just about the Frank Hanna Cup. You would remember Frank and his untimely death way back in 1978.
Yes, it's unreal, Paul. Remember Frank well, played against him, a great character, a great Macri stalwart, and funny enough, county player going back into the 70s. Frank's untimely death, but the county board were quick to recognise him and putting forward this trophy, which is humbly known as the Frank Hanna Cup now. Frank will be smiling on here today, I'm quite sure, and enjoying his football. But I'll hand you back to the football, Paul.
And oh, that was well held, brilliantly held, but only as far as Ronan Clark, and the referee quick to give the free. So it'll be a chance for Barry Gordon. Darren Macaulay come up. Macaulay has scored 4 points. Just standing with the ball in his hands, very composed young footballer. Up he comes, 2 steps, and the score over the bar. So a couple of minutes into the second half, Darren Macaulay increases that Oaks lead 13 points to 3. They now lead by 10 points. Down below us, the footballers and management of Cross McLean Rangers, and indeed those of Mullabon, are in. You can see Joe Kiernan there, all the Cahill Short, all mingling, watching this minor final. And again, Oaks quick to react to Mark Slavin. McKiernan to Slavin, the fist towards McWilliams, very well played to Declan Macaulay. Oh, well taken. Keady come away by young Bagan, but Oaks back in the attack, and the free, Tomas Duggan winning the free.
Piarsaigh Óga have sort of started where they left off, playing down the hill now. Keady can't contain them at all. Great opening score there by young Macaulay. Here he goes for number 6.
Look at that, dear.
Oh, what unbelievable. I hope the county management are looking around here today at see Brian Canavan down below there, maybe a future prospect.
Colm, I mean, we are at the minute seeing an exhibition of football from Piarsaigh Óga's. The like of which at minor level I haven't seen in a long time. They were last winner, the 3 in a row team way back in 1981, 2 and 3. Ger Houlihan, of course, was very much part of those, instrumental in those successes, as McNally comes away. That's a foul on Conor Breen. Keady desperate to try and get the ball moving. They need scores. Thomas Clark drives it out. Conor Breen again. Goes past his man, strong running with the ball, well played. He'll need to give it fairly quickly to Raymond Murray. Murray goes past Duggan, and Murray being fouled. It's actually Ronan Toner coming in, and something must have been said, because referee Nugent's going to move the ball further up. So a chance for Raymond Murray, Colm.
Yeah, Toner more or less fouled him, and Murray just slots the ball over the bar. So they need a couple of major scores now till they come right back into this game.
Yeah, that would be Keady's first score for quite a while, I would imagine. As you said, Colm, they really do need to. They really do need a couple of major scores to get right back into this game. Kieran McKinney, this time kicking down. And I noticed Thomas Clark and number 14 there, Stephen Comiskey, maybe trading a blow or two. That's very well played by McKeag. But Keady first to react. This is probably Keady's best patch in the game. Conor Breen. To Paul McCormick. He's hit, but he goes round his man. This is dangerous. This is very dangerous. Oh, McKinney does well to come out. Goalkeeper very composed. To Kieran McManus. Solos on his right foot then, drives right-footed right down the field. McManus is hit, and it'll be a ball free from where the ball lands. Well played, the keeper, Colin.
Keeper played well. I think it was Paul McCormick got his fist to that ball and hammered it in, but keeper quick to react and cleared his lanes, McKinney.
And this is Óga's on the attack again. Barry Gordon, this time robbed by young Connolly. Jonathan Connolly does well, takes the free. To Paul McCormick. Again, Keady more pattern in their play, and Piarsaigh giving away frees, but remember there are 10 points between the teams at this stage. The high ball, oh, well taken, very well taken by Stephen Hughes. And again Kieran McManus, and again he's fouled. A tremendous footballer, McManus, Colin.
Tremendous, as you say, Paul. He held it well, eluded his man, and was brought to the ground there. Referee once again on the spot.
Óga's move again. Darren McCauley, the quick pass. Óga's moving well. The ball comes in to this could be dangerous. Barry Gordon, right foot. This time just wide of the left-hand post.
It's the only one he's missed all day.
As Colin said, it's the first and only one he's missed all day, so can't be too critical of that. Again, the strong breeze blowing here around the athletic grounds.
But the style in which he turned, he had the ball, he turned elegantly, just more or less on a sixpence and struck it well, but just to the left of the post there.
Again, Óga's in the attack. Mark Slavin wins the free, and no doubt Barry Gordon will come out to maybe add to his personal tally. Up he comes, and there's his 7-point column. Another great score. Winning the free, being fouled and walking up to take it, as it really does appear this brilliantly groomed Pearse Óga's team look as if they're going to be the holders of the Frank Hanna Memorial Cup. Mark Slavin over McCauley's head, this time to Ronan McWilliams, to Declan McCauley, who's fouled that time by Jared Enright. Declan comes up, takes the quick one, trying to get Gordon moving again. Ronan Clark strokes the ball as easy as you like, straight over the bar.
Well, that's Clark's first point. That's the whole full forward line of Pearse Óga has scored. The only one, the half forwards, is Ronan McWilliams now to score. That'll be the whole forward line of the Ógs.
Yeah, I mean, as Colin, that speaks for itself. And Ronan Clark, still a juvenile, son of Adrian, brother of Thomas, full back. His father will be delighted. There's a great ball there. Keady get moving. There's space here. Ógs come back in numbers. Stephen Comiskey to McNally, going across field. Oh, bad ball. Raymond Murray tries to go past Stephen Hughes, not easily done, onto his left foot again. The dangerous ball coming in, and the umpires, yes, it's a 45, so a wee bit of danger there, Colin.
A little bit of danger, but the Ógs were able to just more or less push it aside for a 45. Keady's still pushing, not going to give in easy, but as I say, it's a long haul back, more or less 16 points to 4, 12 points ahead. I don't see any way back for Keady at the minute.
Yes, as the seconds or the minutes pass here, the short free, McCormick, and a good free to young Kirk. Philip Kirk did well. He took on the mantle, and to Murray, the chance for Keady, the high ball straight over the sticks. That's a good score for Conor Breen. So Philip Kirk urging his team on, and eventually the ball finding Conor Breen, who did very well.
That's Breen's second point, so it is himself and young Comiskey, the only two players in the double figures with them. But as I said, they need a major score and they need it quick. Time fast running out for them.
Yes, and Tom McShane going to bring in Raymond Woods into the Keady team. He's getting warmed up. A great catch that time by McCormick. Brilliant catch. This is better football from the Dwyers. To Hughes, to Enright. The ball breaks down. Yes, he handled it on the ground. And he'll have to give it, and the ball will be moved down where Kieran McManus will stand under it, head up. And the easiest of balls. Not a great ball. Mark Slevins there. Roland McWilliams receiving a knock there.
Yeah, things getting a wee bit ragged at the minute. Maybe frustration coming into Keady's play, but McWilliams now has picked up an injury, and straight away first aid is on, the attention to him. Time fast running out, as I said, Paul, for Keady. They need a major score, but I don't see it coming anywhere. Piarsaigh Óga just content and taking their point after point. A great 16 points they've got here.
Yeah, we spoke earlier about the capability of both these teams to notch up a hell of a lot of scores, Colin, and indeed Piarsaigh Óga have done that.
Yeah, all scores well worked and taken from long range scores. They didn't really have to get them into the 10-15 metre line box, but game just about to resume, and Keady introducing the sub here coming on.
They're making a couple of positional switches. I see they have brought young Woods is on, and he's going into the Piarsaigh Óga's defence. He's going to pick up Keating, and we have a Piarsaigh Óga player. They're taking off the left corner forward. But anyway, Piarsaigh Óga's come back at the action. Tomas Duggan. Easy as you like. Sends it out to Roland McWilliams, and here's his chance to score, Column, and there is another tremendous point, and it's Roland McWilliams the scorer.
Well, as I said, McWilliams was the only one not to score in this forward line, but they've all scored now. Macaulay, Williams and Keady and the half forwards, plus the other three full forwards, so great sign here for the Ógs.
So as the time ticks away and the Rangers of Crossmaglen go in to get togged out for their big senior final, it's Piarsaigh Óga's leading by 17 points to 5 as Keady come away again. The full back has moved up. Ronan Toll, obviously, tremendous, absolutely brilliant piece of football by Stephen Hughes. He received the knock, but how he managed to pull that ball down, Colin.
Yeah, one-handed too into the bargain. It was a great piece of skill by him, and as he landed on the ground, the Keady man took him unceremoniously.
Would it be fair to say, Colin, I mean, is there a weak link on this Piarsaigh Óga's team?
It doesn't seem to be, Paul. It's great food for thought, more or less, for the Ógs in the future, if they can maintain these young lads, as I say, 15, 16, and it's a great outlook for them.
Another huge ball by Kieran McManus, again brought down one-handed by Ronan Clark, but this time Keady react quickly. Philip Kirk, good ball out, finding his man. He received a bit of a knock there after he gave it, but away we come again. Keady moving up the field in numbers. This is much better football from the Dwyers. Again, Kirk still there. He's a great wee footballer, Kirk. Keady come away again. They're trying to Ógs defending quite desperately here. This is Conor Breen. Nifty footwork, doing very well. He's going to run out of options and run out of space as Piarsaigh Óga's come away with it. And it's Philip Kirk, and I think the referee might have to take a bit of action, Colin.
I think he might do, but it was great work there by the number 10 there, Conor Breen. He jinked and he jived everywhere, but the Ógs, they didn't panic. They went with him and they closed them down, and in the end there was no one there to help Breen, so the Ógs sort of got the ball out of their defence. And
a moment too, Colin, to be aware that Piarsaigh Óga are playing without Paul Nugent, their centre half back, who really is an outstanding prospect and will be a county minor next year, I have no doubt. I've also no doubt that some of these Piarsaigh Óga players, and as you say, if they can keep this going, they're going to be a real threat in the future.
There will be a force. the other team across the way there, the Harps, they'll be more or less looking out for them as well. They're going to have to rebuild too. But as I say, this is where your shop windows out here, more or less with your minors, and if you can hold on to them, it's your future football stars of the years.
Well, that's it. It's whether Pearse Óga can keep these players together. Young McNally, that was a terrible ball out to him. He really had no chance. Great football. Kieran McManus gives on his foul badly. Keady come away with it. McManus received a bad blow as he gave that ball off. Really should have been, the player should never have got away with that. That was a bad tackle, but Keady come away. Philip Kirk, again, he's looking for options. Again, McManus remains on the ground as Keady come away, and this is Comiskey. Keady are looking for that goal, and it's still been worked in. The point comes off the post. Again, Keady, they're looking for the goal. Pearse Óga's defending desperately, and Comiskey goes for the top over the bar. It's probably desperation stakes, Colin, but Keady, you know, showing what they could have, what they are capable of.
Well, this is it. There again, the woodwork say it, okay, it was going over the bar, but in saying that, they still fought back, and the young Pearse Óga man here just getting up on his feet. He was sort of taken out of it there earlier on by the Keady half back, but in saying that, referee allowed play to go on. He's had a word with them, and we're back to basics again.
We're back to basics, as Colin said. Kieran McKinney kicks out down towards the middle of the field. Mark Levin's boot goes in, and the free is given. Paul McCormick drives into the square. Several players converge. First to react is there. Oh, great block again. Great defending by Stephen Hughes, a very, very strong defender. Of course, his uncle Val played on Pearse Óga's teams, as did his uncle Brian, who represented Armagh for many, many years. Now, chance for Keady again. They're pressing strongly. Óga's defending quite desperately, even though there's so many between the teams. That ball's still in play. Comes out to Declan McCauley. And away goes Robert McCaig. No foul given. Number 9, Enright. Well played. Strong running by the midfielder. Not a good ball. Now, the space opens up for Pearse Óga. Barry Gordon's left. No foul given. Gordon's still there. Still it goes loose. And the foul this time. Views on that one, Colin?
I think it was a wee bit harsh there, so it was 50-50 ball between Connolly and Barry Gordon. Gordon went down, so did Connolly on top of him, but in saying that, the referee, he's the man, he makes the decisions, and looks like McCauley is going to notch up a 7th point.
Yes, well, once I mean, there was obviously something said after the decision, so he's decided to bring it in straight in front of the posts. And Darren McCauley, no doubt he probably would have put it over from the earlier position, but Darren McCauley just tops the ball over the bar. We have 18 points to 6 at the minute in the athletic grounds as time ticks away. The wind, gusts of wind get even stronger, but down in the field it's Kieran McManus. Back to McManus again. Looks to be going out. Jared Enright does very well, turns back and drives the ball down towards the middle of the field. Declan McCauley's there. Tomas Duggan reacts quickly. Mark Slevin takes a knock and gives it. Well played. Back tackling is Conor Breen. And we have now 2 against 1 situation. Again, he must release it and does. Probably could have made better of it to Ronan Toll. Go for the big score. Drives it wide. Disappointing finish for him, Colin.
Disappointing. Toll more or less struck it with his right foot, but young McKinney in the goals there knew where the ball was. He wasn't under any pressure. He knew where the ball was going into the side netting and just let it go harmlessly wide.
So, Kieran McKinney kicks out again. Good kick against the breeze. Players converge on it. First to react, Kieran McManus. What a game he has had. Mark Slevin being tackled and robbed. Very well robbed by McCormick. The high ball in. McCaig's underneath it. Thomas Thomas Clark reacts very well to that one. Foul, yes, foul on Stephen Hughes. Oh, referee will move the ball further down. Pearse Óga in no great rush as Keady decided to bring Liam McGreevy into the action. Good catch, Philip Kirk. First to snap onto that one. Keady come away again. Paul McCormick. They're pressing strongly. Oh, very well intercepted. Great football.
Keady's handling's letting them down, Paul, in the last seconds. So they are, you know, they're pushing forward, but their handling isn't too good.
Real danger here. Paul McKiernan, the captain of the team. He's going through. He might give it. The goal is on. Oh, brilliant score. Brilliant score. Ronan Clark, probably the youngest player on this Oaks team. Paul McKiernan did all the work. Drew the man and then fed it to Clark, who ran onto it and tucked it under the keeper. Colin, great goal.
Great goal. Inspirational leadership once again by McKiernan. Ran on and seen Clark.
And look at this. Macaulay going. Oh, the goal on. Yes, it's magic football. Oh, surely given. Barry Gordon's up. And that is unbelievable football from Pearse Óga. Unbelievable.
He's given a penalty.
He's actually, no, he's calling it back. And he's going to give the penalty. But Darren Macaulay's weaving run, Colin, brilliant.
Oh, unbelievable. It just reminded me of Scaldy there. So they're playing the seniors. He jinked and he jived too and just caught everybody on the hop. Threw it till Barry Gordon, who, okay, was taken by the goalkeeper. It's a pity Eamon Nugent didn't let allow the...
You see what's happening, Colin? They're going to bring their goalkeeper, Kieran McKinney. The goalkeeper is coming down to take the penalty. Unbelievable.
Well, everyone's looking to have a score now. As I say, the whole full forward line, half back line, or half forward line, and
up he comes. He's going to take a very short run, standing only a couple of yards from the ball. So it's goalkeeper facing goalkeeper here. McKinney faces Declan McLean. Indeed, he's lengthened his run now. Comes up he comes, strikes. Oh, fantastic goal! What a penalty!
What a penalty, what a strike. He hit it high, hit it till the goalkeeper's left, and he gives a full back a wee tap there, told as he goes on past. But he'll be a happy man. Look, he has a wee tap there, the hand's going up.
The hand tap with Kieran McManus as Kieran McKinney, the goalkeeper, scores an absolutely brilliant penalty for Pearse Óga. We have a scoreline now of 2-18 to 6 points. Exhibition stuff. Chris Woods, strong run. Up he comes. Paul McCormick.
Number 5, Philip Kirk.
Up he, Keady pressing, Óga's tackling. The foul going to be given, yes. Really, that was brilliant stuff, Colin.
Great stuff from goalkeeper out to the top of the right, and it's tapped over there for a Keady point by young Enright. But it's far too long there. They've gone, what is it? I think it's about 40 odd minutes before they've scored.
Yeah, that would be right, about 40 minutes from the last score. So as Kieran McKinney takes out, we coming to the near the end of this minor championship final. Mark's 11 goes up. Barry Gordon, look where he is now. Or Ronan Toner, I should say, and it's landed at Darren Macaulay. He's trying to release Barry Gordon. What a score, Colin. Just when it seemed as if he had run out of space, he tucked it past the keeper.
Well, Eamon Nugent sort of called him back the last time, his goal. He didn't let it stand, so Barry gets his goal.
We have 3 subs going on for Pearse Óga all at once. Number 20, Thomas Smith.
There's still plenty of room available at both
on number 16, Brian O'Hughes is on.
And behind the crowd on this side of the Canaris, please.
Ronan Toner is off, Keating is off, and Kieran McManus have all come off. So Pearse Óga's making 3 changes in the first very late stage of the game.
Well, 3-18, what an impressive score. The 7 points Gordon's goal bringing him with a tally of 1-7. What a scoring ratio. But Keady still pushing forward, trying to get another score. Fair play to them. But they lose out this time. The Keady defender has won a free out. Keady still has to more or less play right to the whistle. So Eamon Nugent.
Yeah, it's a very hard lesson for these young Keady footballers, but look down below us, a man who would have taken a lot of these players at primary school level, Jimmy McKee, and really a lot of credit must go to Jimmy because he first introduced them to football over here at the CBS, and a lot of them came through then when people like Paul Turley and Tommy Martin took over, Kevin McCauley, Tom Donnelly and Franco Patterson. The Pearse Oaks have produced quite a backroom team column.
They have the stars of yesteryear sort of kept in touch with all the young ones, and see Jimmy taking a prime seat up there close to the cup. He'll be hoping to congratulate a lot of these boys here as they come in.
He certainly will, and that free will be from where the ball lands, and he'll give it very quickly, and it's Darren McCauley. Oh, he receives a blow to the head, but McCauley's away going, using his space. No free given. McCauley still on the ground as Keady come away with Jared Enright. High ball. Well taken that time by Keith Gillespie or Keith McGuinness. O'Hara, yes, on it. And the free given. Ronan Toll being fouled. Only a couple of minutes to go. About 5 minutes to go before the County Minor Championship trophy will rest in the hands, and no doubt about it, of Paul McKiernan.
12, Conor Kelly. Number 16, Brian O'Hughes. And number 20, Thomas Smith have replaced number 5, Ronan Toner, number 11, Ronan McWilliams, and number 17, Chris Keating on the Pearse Oaks team.
So there are the changes that were made. Paul McCormick. High, strong ball. Brilliant score by Chris Woods. Tremendous score, Colin.
A brilliant score, Paul. All in 50 metres out. He hit it high, hit it long, and if the game had been a lot more closer, that would have been an inspirational score for Keady. It would have lifted them surely.
And just a word on Paul Grimley. I see Paul Grimley down there a couple of years ago when he made the very brave decision to manage the Armagh Harps, and Paul, a great senior player and championship winner, and was desperately disappointed here in '94 when they were beaten by Mullabon. But success now for Paul. He's part of the backroom, the training management team of this Pearse Oaks outfit, who have played so brilliantly in this. Keady going through possibly their best patch of the game as Mickey McNally, strong running. Oaks player goes down. Keady still on the ball. This is Conor Breen. He'll go for the goal. Oh, brilliant save! What a save by McKinney. Fingertip, full flying save, Colin. That was for the net.
That was for the net from young Breen. The moment he left his foot, it was for the top end. But McKinney came right across on the right-handed, tapped her over the bar.
Yeah, really brilliant save to finish any game. And the flying shot from Conor Breen. Scores stand now 3 goals and 18 points to 9 points for Keady. Scores really stand for itself. 3-18 is some scoring in any county final.
As I say, if the game had been a lot closer, more or less, with that inspirational score from Woods and now that point from Breen, it would have went right down to the wire. But on the other hand, it's all one-way sailing for the Oaks.
So Keady back at it. Thanks, Colin. Jared Enright to Paul McCormick. Thomas Clark runs out. Oh, Thomas Clark did very well. Being fouled towards Darren McCauley. He'll look to go onto his left foot. Gives it to Declan McCauley, whose brother Kevin is manager of this team. The drop kick to Barry Gordon. Gordon's away. They're looking for that extra score. Well defended that time. And being fouled, Keady come away with it. But he'll have to bring it back. It's number 16 there. Raymond Woods will have to bring it back to the point where he was fouled. So tired legs out there, Colin, but the final minutes just approaching.
Just minutes away from the end. Eamon Nugent has done a good job in keeping this game flowing as best he could, considering that it's been all a one-way traffic. But fair play to Keady. They've tried. They're still not finished yet, but here comes the Ógs again at the attack.
That was Tomas Duggan there, doing very well. He had to ride a couple of challenges before driving the ball left foot down. Jarlath Conley gets it out to McCormick. Paul McCormick, centre half back. Head up, he needs to move the ball quickly. Indeed he does. That's a good ball to the full forward Comiskey. Keady moving, they're looking for the goal. Mickey McNally comes in, shoots, low ball, well blocked down. Pearse Ógs come away, a high tackle on Stephen Hughes. I think there'll be a booking there. Ógs defending very well, Colin.
Defending as they've done all through this game, first half and second half. There, Eamon Nugent has the final word, blows the whistle on a scoreline of 3-18 to 9. Jubilation in the Ógs camp. As I said, fair play to Keady. You know, frustration could have crept in after getting been beaten such a high score. These young lads, there's a lot of football in them, a lot of football in the future, which we'll all be looking forward to see, in particular the Ógs line out of Macaulay and young Gordon. But they've taken their scores well. It's a bad experience more or less for the Keady men, but they'll go back and hopefully they can learn from it.
So as Colin quite rightly said, you know, a harrowing experience for Keady to be beaten, but what an occasion for Pearse Ógs. The chairman Jared Barton down there, Joe Gordon down there, Paul Jackson, Pat Malloy, Big John O'Kane. Really, this Ógs team have come through very well.
Congratulations to the Pearse Ógs team, Armagh County Minor Champions of 19 and 97. Commiserations with Dwyers of Keady. We would ask the winning captain of Pearse Ógs, Paul McKiernan, to make his way over to the Clonarnis along with the victorious Pearse Ógs team, where the Vice Chairman of the Armagh County Board, Joe Jordan, will present the Frank Hanna Memorial Trophy.
There's microphones down there.
Sorry. The Armagh County Board, I want to take this opportunity first of all to congratulate the Pearse Ógs on winning the minor championship for the 5th time in their history. I also want to take the opportunity to congratulate a gallant Keady team. It didn't go right for them on the day, but nevertheless, they played well to get this length, and it shouldn't be forgotten about some of the many good matches they had throughout the year.
The applause for Keady Dwyers, the applause for Pearse Ógs. There'll be some celebrating tonight.
I also want to take this opportunity to congratulate the team managers on both sides and the mentors on both sides for the tremendous effort they made in getting both teams this far, and also to referee Eamon Nugent, his linesmen and umpires for a good job on the day. I'd like to, without any further ado, to present the Frank Hanna Cup to Paul McKiernan, the captain of the Pearse Ógs.
So, Big Paul McKiernan receives the Frank Hanna Memorial Cup, a fitting tribute to, without doubt, the best minor team in the county. And for Paul McKiernan especially, brilliant moment, a dual player with Armagh Cuchulainns. These young Ógs players absolutely jubilant down below us. And there he receives the trophy. Paul McKiernan, brother Greg played senior football and hurling for Pearse Ógs. And the entire Ógs panel absolutely jubilant. Their managers, Tommy Martin, Paul Grimley, Paul Jackson.
I'm not really prepared here, so just for a lot of people I like to thank.
want to thank the club for sticking by us all year, sponsoring us, giving us all their backing, meals off the tin and all that there. So thanks very much. I'd also like to thank the management team, Franco, Colin, Tommy, Paul Grimley and Jacko for sticking by us all year. Couldn't have done it right this place. Thanks very much. Finally, I'd like to thank Keady on a good score in the game, so thanks very much. 3 cheers for Keady. Hip hip. Hip. Hip.
Oh, well said, Paul McKiernan. Well spoken, and he takes the Frank Hanna Memorial Cup. A cup in memory of a great GAA county man. And Pearse Oaks will go on their lap of honour. Keady will walk away dejected, but it takes 2 teams to make a final, and they must take great credit for reaching this, for reaching the athletic grounds on county final day. Aye, no problem. And Pearse Oaks go on their lap of honour. Up behind there's a large Pearse Oak gathering. Up behind the bottom goals as they move down, showing the cup to the supporters who have stuck with them all through the year. Team manager Tommy Martin deciding to stay here. Out there is Jared O'McArdle, great Pearse Oaks clubman. Jared Cullen going in. Terry Conroy down there as well, as the Oaks team make their way right up, and deservedly so, right up through the far side of the pitch. The entire team, prefer to mention the 3 subs came on, of course, Brian O'Hughes, and as well as that, Thomas Graham, Thomas Smith, Martin Gillespie, Gary Gorman, whose father Frank will be down there, Shane Duffy, Neil Gribben, Patrick Monaghan, Stephen Donnelly, who's Uncle Jimmy McKee would be delighted, and I just see Tommy Martin going in down below us. Jerome Corvin, Paul Duggan, Philip Gordon, Stephen Connolly and Thomas Murray, who made up this entire Pearse Oaks panel. Really large crowd here, huge crowd at the athletic grounds, getting ready for the county senior final between All-Ireland champions Crossmaglen Rangers and Mullabon. And the Pearse Oaks team come down below us, and indeed as one who taught quite a number of these minor lads when they were at primary school level, it gives me great satisfaction as an Armagh man, Armagh City man, to see them play so well, so good that they have stuck together, and they are showing that they're capable of fantastic football. They'll come down below us, and there'll be tremendous jubilation, quite a number of their families waiting behind here. The hardest job will be how are they going to get all that crowd into a photograph. They're going to do it somehow. In fact, it seems that all their younger brothers and sisters are in among that crowd as well. Ian McGuinness, I hope he's got his wide lens camera down there to take all that lot in. Aidan Sutton there, the Oak senior player, congratulating Kieran McManus. Fantastic game he had. Kieran also been congratulated by Jared Houlihan. The entire team and panel will come in now. Paul Grimley walks away for a job very, very well done. Thomas Clark comes in down below us, absolutely delighted. Chris Keating, Tomas Duggan has the base of the cup in his hand, he'll not let it go for a while. Tremendous scenes here.
A goal, la shoot, a hug, Paki a dog, lesh, na comorta sheet, pella shot, a rock tile, and a wahat.
Barry Gordon comes in down below us as well.
The board would like to take this opportunity of thanking their sponsors. The classic mineral waters
Declan McCauley, Ronan Clark, Darren McCauley down below us.
And Guinness, who provided very generous sponsorship for the senior championship in Armagh.
So the jubilant Pearse Ógs team come in down below us. Winners of the Frank Hanna Memorial Cup, the County Minor Championship rests here in Armagh with Pearse Ógs. Evening. We're here in the Toby Jug, coming on 7 o'clock. The Minor Championship Trophy, the Frank Hanna Memorial Cup, rests with the Pearse Ógs. As we said yesterday during the comedy of the match, this cup here, the Frank Hanna Memorial, is in memory of one of Armagh's great heroes. Frank Hanna, who played for Armagh in the 70s and who looked after the Armagh minor panel back in 1977, a year when Armagh, of course, reached the All-Ireland final. And sitting just behind the cup is, if I can remember correctly, a member of that Armagh team in 1977. Tommy Martin, one of the management team of the Pearse Ógs. Tommy, not only would you remember the cup, but you would remember Frank Hanna, where none of these younger players would.
Yeah, Frank Hanna was a fantastic man. He was a gentleman. He was a great underage mentor, and my memories of Frank would be great from 77, boys like Johnny Corvin and Mickey McDonald and boys of that fantastic team, Peter Rafferty. A lot of good boys came out of that team, played for Armagh. But my memories of this cup are really of 81, 2 and 3, when we won it in 3 in a row. And to be honest, you know, when I look over here and the boys to my left here, Declan McCauley, Paul Smacker, Chris Keaton and Conor Kelly, you know, I see in their faces, I see the Jared Hoolans, the Dome Paul, God rest him, the likes of Tony and Ian Donnelly, Fergal Horney, Martin Kjarson, boys like that there. I see young lads like that there, and to be honest, they became the backbone of our senior team throughout the 80s. They came along and they played with boys like Sean Gordon, Pat Cullen, Franco Patterson, Big Brian Hughes, Paul Grimley, you know, boys like that there, and we went on to win 3 out of 4 senior championships. And to be honest, looking at them lads there, you know, I'm looking at the future here, and I see a great success here this weekend for us in terms of winning this minor. But in real terms, I see the senior success coming back. John Martin of Cross McLean, I congratulated him on winning the senior championship there yesterday. And John, cute man as he is, remarked upon the fact, he says, yes, and congratulations to yourselves, he says. And I see the Pearse Ógs are on their way back. And hopefully with lads like Paul, Smacker, Declan, Connor and Christopher, we are on our way back.
Well, Tommy, I made the point yesterday too. One or two people, it's not that long ago that I can remember Cross McLean, a team that won an All-Ireland club. I can remember them winning juvenile championships. I can remember them winning minor championships. And I can't ever remember them winning a minor championship to the same style as your team won yesterday. I have here sitting with me quite a number of that panel. Before I introduce you to them, I'd like to bring in this gentleman here, Kevin McCauley, who, I suppose, coming from a Harps man, one of the biggest critics down in the other end of town is that not enough of our senior players would give enough to the underage football in the club. But we look at Pearse Ógs and really we have to take a leaf out of people like Kevin McCauley's books, who really must give every night of the week, devote his time to Pearse Ógs. I would know that from the work that he does, and I would like to pay credit to Kevin. And I mean, this minor championship is a result, Kevin, of not just this year's work, but a few years.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely a few years. Well, this last from January, we had a managers meeting in January, and I put my name forward for the managers to be manager of the minor team, and I was accepted. And I knew from then that we've got an under-16 team that won the championship 2 years ago, and I knew that if they had the right people to back them, they would win a minor championship. I knew that the talent was there. We've got 5 players that played county minor football. We've got Declan McCauley, we've got Barry Gordon, 2 All-Stars. We've got an excellent team, an excellent panel, and I knew if we had the right people to run the show, we definitely would win a minor championship without a shadow of a doubt. We started off a meeting in February with 36 of a panel. It had been down to 28. We brought a few juveniles in. We took it up to 31, and I've been managing teams now this last 6 years. I managed under 10, right up to under 12, under 14, under 16, and now I'm at minor, and I never had been through an excellent panel like it. They knit together, they talk to each other. When we go out together, they all sit together. There's no rows, there's no fights, there's no arguments. They're more like a family more than a team.
Dealing with an exceptional bunch here, Kevin, aren't we?
An exceptional bunch, definitely an exceptional bunch, and they proved that yesterday.
Well,
They definitely proved that.
Tommy mentioned some of the players, and the danger in doing an interview like this is leaving somebody out, But yesterday, after, and I said to Tommy, and I meant it, after having the privilege of commentating on the match yesterday, I went home last night and I was really quite drained. Funny enough, I drove past Willie Tom's at about 10 o'clock and was very, very tempted to go in, and I thought, no, you've school tomorrow, Paul, you better go. But I'd like to pay a tribute now to a gentleman who I left out yesterday, and it was only when I went home last night and sat and thought about it. And I remember going back to my days, and Declan will remember my days whenever I had the hut beside the brothers, and one gentleman beside the brothers' field, and the gentleman was at my door 4 times a week, and that was of course Donald Powell, because at that time he had all these fellas here at under 10 level, and he used to call in, have a yarn with me, because I was involved at under 10 level in the harps, and we'd have great crack, and then he would systematically go around the class and say, Saturday evening, Sunday morning, whatever it was, be there. Boys, for Donald Powell, this must mean an awful lot. Declan.
This minor championship has come from on the 16 level. In the Portmore 2 years ago, Adrian Clark said this, hopefully go on and win the minor championship. Went on and win that. And then he said, hopefully go on and go to better things. On 21 Ulster Club in All Ireland. We've done one part of that there. We won the minor championship. Let's just hope we go and do the rest.
Okay, Declan, did you think that, had you any idea that you would play it so well on the day? I mean, it was a county minor final, and I said to somebody before the game that my fear was a lot of these boys, Tommy, were playing in their own backyard, and I thought there was an element of them freezing.
In our own backyard, and Keady were coming, like, said they were going to beat us. We needed the gas, so we did like 15, 3 subs, 18, and all the subs as well. 31 of us, all a team together, training throughout. It was a whole team, whole family. We done the business. Half time we were winning by 9 points. Monaghan said, let's go out and win by 9, and on 9 points. Right, and won by 18 points at the end up. So we did.
And of course, Declan, you have to do what you're told, whatever he says. You're well looked after. Beside Declan is Conor Kelly. Conor, one of the subs yesterday. What was it like looking on? Be honest in your views now to see just to watch it and be a part of this minor championship.
Brilliant. It was just brilliant. It was especially brilliant to come on. I loved to come on. The crowd that got there, so did. And the Oaks just played brilliant, so there's nothing else I can say about it.
Great occasion for you. Right half forward yesterday, if you can correct me if I'm wrong, was Darren McCauley. Smagger, I suppose you decided to keep the good wine to the end. You turned in a fantastic performance personally.
Thanks very much, Paul. But hey, total team performance. We did the stuff. We taught them a lesson, and they'll never forget. Let me tell you, everybody played to their full potential, and we gave them a lesson on how to play football. All right.
Okay, Darren, beside him, I should have maybe come to you first. Paul McKiernan, dual player with the Cuchullins and Armagh. Paul, captain. A minor winning captain, you'll never be forgotten.
Well, it's a great honour to be captain of this Pearse Óga's team. There was 18 players in show there the day, but really there was 31 players out there today. Everybody put the effort in all year, and tell you the truth, boys, not to be forgotten. Thanks very much to all the subs and all the boys. They put the effort in all year, and we've got our rewards for it.
Well said. Beside him we have Christopher Keating, who came in yesterday. Maybe a surprise inclusion. I didn't know of your inclusion until a wee bit earlier, in maybe the evening before. Chris, your views?
Well, as the boys have said before, Paul, it's just a great privilege to be part of such a bunch of lads. It's just been brilliant all year, and the 30 boys have turned out to training every single week. There hasn't been a player short, and we've went to Kilbrony, trained our guts out, and this is what we've been aiming for all year, and this is what we've got. And it's a great credit to the management team, because they've been just superb. We couldn't have done it without them. Scaldy and Tommy there beside us. Just been
yeah, and I think to give yourself credit too, you were complaining about your performance, but take a good look at the video, Chris, and you'll see it. Your first half performance, not so much your second, your first half performance up in the Canaris was been talked about by several people up there.
Well, I was happy enough. I was a bit disappointed the way my own personal performance was at the end, but as I said before, the team was just unbelievable on the day. I think that was the best we've played all year, and we fully deserved the win. We've had 5 or 6 hard matches. We drew with Tiernan Ogan, we drew with Locker O'Neill's in the end, but nobody can complain in the end of the day. We were the best team in the county and we deserved the win.
I think enough said. Beside him, moving on, we've spoken to Tommy and Kevin. Thomas Clark, full back. Right here. Son of Adrian, PRO of the club. And for you, Thomas, and yourself and Ronan, must have been a great day for you.
Brilliant. This wee bro, he walks in water. He is brilliant. At 14 years of year, scoring 1-1 in a county minor final, it has to say something. He is brilliant.
Of course, your own performance, Thomas. I'll not so much talk to you about the match itself, Thomas, but it has been quite a campaign all year. As Kevin said, it goes back to January, but your actual championship campaign was very hard.
It was hard. The first match against Keady was very hard. The second match against Tiernan Óga, we went through it, was even harder. But my stiffest opposition was against Locker O'Neill's, and that was marking Oliver Coughlin. And he is some footballer. But I just picked myself up in the second game, and he didn't score hardly anything.
Yeah, and I mean, great credit to the management for sticking with you there. They could have maybe made changes, but I think they knew that in you, Thomas, they had a tremendous fullback, and yesterday's performance was really terrific, so well done. Beside you, Tomas Duggan, captain of the Pearse Óga's juvenile team 2 years ago. Tomas, you've had a few hard times in the last couple of years, but this must be something special.
Definitely is, but we can't owe it to anybody else except Kevin, Tommy, Paul Grimley, Jacko, and nothing we can do. We couldn't done it without them, because they put in the work, and they had said themselves that we owe it to ourselves, but we don't. We owe it to the management. We didn't play this year. We didn't play one full 60 minutes, but today we done it,
And I'm sure for the family, everybody out supporting you, Tomas. Of course, you went home early last night, did you?
I did,
You went to the shower?
Haven't seen the house yet.
Beside Tomas Duggan, we have Jerome Corvin, whose father Aidan won senior championship medals with Pearse Óga's in the 80s. Jerome, great occasion for you.
Disappointed not to get on and trained hard all year, but at the end of the day I have to say that management made the right decisions and we're county champions. That's the main thing. As long as the Ógs win, I'm happy.
Yeah, well, I think it would be. It wouldn't be any sub who didn't play yesterday. Any sub who didn't play yesterday would feel that they maybe missed out on something. But to fair credit to the whole management team, that the scenes of after the game, the jubilant scenes after the game, when your dugout just went wild. We haven't seen scenes like that for a long time in the athletic grounds. Anybody else like to say anything, you know, just personal thoughts about anybody in particular? I'll come to you in a minute, Darren. Tommy, just as thoughts go through your head.
The one thing is, myself and Tom Donnelly have been talking earlier on. We watched the video, and me and Tom had looked after the Oaks minor team in the early 80s, and they'd won 3 in a row minor championships. And we were just arguing over which would be the best team out of that, and it's, you know, it's a typical football cliche, like which was the best bunch of boys. I'll be honest about it, these lads are up there. These lads are as good as what I have seen in my time in looking after teams. They definitely are. Each and every one of them, there's something exceptional about them all. And I would have to say the time there in 97 as opposed to maybe 81, it's more intensive. The amount of work that this man beside me, Kevin McCauley, has put in, the amount of training sessions he's organised, and like Kevin's the manager, and you know, it's me and Franco and Jacko and Paul has helped them out, but I have to pay a tribute to Kevin McCauley. Like, Kevin McCauley from January has really worked damn hard for this success. Without a shadow of a doubt, I think a lot of it comes down to Kevin. Because Kevin has looked after the minute details, and it paid off there, so it did yesterday. But in real terms, I honestly think that this team here, looking at Declan and looking at Barry Gordon and Smacker and Paul McKiernan and going right through them all, Tommy Clark at full back, Mousy, they're every bit as good as the Jared Hoolans, the Tony Donnellys, the Rowan Bradleys, the Dones. And I'm honestly hoping that these boys stick at it, and hopefully senior success will come back again. And we'll be back up there with Cross McLean and Mullapawn, because that's, in my opinion, that's where Piarsaigh belong.
Well, Tommy, I mean, you go back to the 80s when you were playing, and I can remember some of the great championship campaigns, not just the finals that Piarsaigh's won, but the quarterfinals, the semi-finals against Cross, Clonakeel. And I would tend to agree with you that this group, if they can be kept together, I think the Piarsaighs are very much on their way back. That was said in the Canars yesterday by several people. Kevin, can I just talk to you about some of the other people? People spoke to me about the underage policy and Paul Turley helping to draw up some sort of policy. I think maybe there's a bit of credit has got to go there.
Definitely, Paul Turley. The credit definitely has to go to Paul Turley as far as underage is concerned. But it's not just Paul Turley, it's the whole Piarsaigh's committee, it's the whole Piarsaigh's management team. Where it all starts is we have a meeting at the start of the year and we decide on our managers. Like the minor team is an example. We've got 5, as far as I'm concerned. Fair enough, I was elected as manager, but as far as I'm concerned, there's 5 managers on the Piarsaigh's minor team. There's myself, Paul Grimley, Tommy Martin, Franco Patterson and Big Jacko. And that every team's the same in Piarsaigh. Every single team's the same. From under 12 right through to senior. We have got 5, 6, maybe 7 people following them. They're doing umpires, they're doing linesmen, whatever it is. But that's where Piarsaigh is coming back into perspective. We're knitting together, not only as a minor team, but as a club. And the likes of yesterday and winning the minor championship can do nothing only improve that. And it's just what Piarsaigh needed. Piarsaigh needed a minor championship, and these lads here done it for Piarsaigh as well as themselves.
And it's ironic that maybe a year after Tommy, whenever the accident had with the Piarsaigh's club, and you were left with actually no building as such, 1 year later, you have the minor championship in front of you. Obviously, people mucked in and decided, okay, all's not lost here. We've got to really start here and build, you know.
To be honest, Kevin has touched upon the thing, and I pay a tribute to Paul Turley. Like the amount of work that Paul Turley puts in, especially with under 8s and under 10s, has to be seen to be believed. But you know, the club is a major miss, but it's a social club. In my opinion, what you're seeing around this table here is what the Piarsaighs are about. It is young lads wanting to play football. It's about what you seen yesterday on the field. It's about a Piarsaigh team that wins minor championships, and hopefully in years to come, it's going to be about Piarsaigh winning senior championships. And in my opinion, that is what Piarsaigh GFC is all about. And the loss of our social club will be overcome. We will come back bigger and better. On the football field, we've showed our intent. On the social side, hopefully we'll be in there pitching against your club for the bingo and a saddler pot.
I have no doubt, Tommy, I can see you calling the numbers. Yourself and Joe D. Anybody else like to say anything?
I think this year's minor team win the championship. I think another mention should go to the under 14 team who got the Ireland final in the field Nogue, because done the club proud, so they did this year up in Donegal. was up watching it and they should have probably won it, like, but they'll be back next year as well.
Yeah, they were very unfortunate. They lost in extra time, isn't that right?
Yeah, lost by a point, a last minute goal. Hopefully they come back and do the Oaks Parade and minor football finals as well. Come on, seniors.
Well said, Jerome. Can I ask a question, Kevin? Are many of that, say 18 or even on the panel, are minors again next year?
Well, with 31 of a panel this year, 31 players, and I reckon at least maybe 13, maybe 14 is minors next year. But in saying that, the talent we have coming through, as you know, we've got an under-16 championship match in a fortnight's time, championship final against Crossmaglen, and it's our third championship, under-16 championship in a row, and the fellas coming through, and as you can see it here today, two under-16 championships in a row, and they're going to come through, and Piarsaigh Óga is going to be a bigger and better and stronger team as far as underage concerned. But I'm saying to these boys now, I hope and I pray that them boys will continue to keep it going through senior level. I know, personally speaking myself, there's a big gap between minor and senior. There is a big gap, and I hope that they will stick at it, because I had to do it. You might be subbed for 2 or 3 or 4 years, but stick at it, keep training, and if you keep training, your time will come. There's no doubt about it.
And Tommy, what about the commitment? We 3 or 4 nights a week this year with this team?
Well, it basically comes down to maybe we were doing 2 nights training. A great innovation this year was the fact of Paul Grimley taking the lads here to Kilbrony. And while, you know, most senior teams go to Kilbrony, we took them there, but we give them a section which was tailored in for minor footballers. And I think they really, you know, they enjoyed it. It was tough. I seen a lot of them hurting on Sunday mornings, especially the boys that had over-enjoyed themselves, maybe say on a Saturday night. You know, they had, but having said that, there, like, there was no doubt about it that it was quite enjoyable, and it was team bonding. You know, I think, you know, and if we look back in years to come, the fact there last Sunday when we were sitting under a wet, cloudy sky in Kilbrony on the Sunday at maybe 1 o'clock, Kevin, where we were sitting eating, me and Kevin and Paul Grimley and Jacko sandwiches. And Jacko sandwiches are something to enjoy, let me tell you. And I would have to say, you know, but the fact was the comradeship and the team spirit, and somebody's touched on the family spirit, I think, it had to be seen to be believed. And sessions like that there do lead to what we're enjoying here tonight.
Well said, Tommy. He's just sneaked in behind me, and coming to you in a minute, Darren. Or in fact, we'll come to you now. We'll come to you now, Darren. What do you want to say?
Just want to say, the boys have good character. Everybody in the team's good character. The management, everybody else, helped us out, and they deserved everything they got, because we won the minor championship on Sunday, and we deserved everything we got. You know why? Because we had the commitment, with the fire in our bellies, and we won to the ultimate and stuff.
Well said, Darren. Well said. Stephen Hughes, when you come into the room here, you don't get out without saying something. Stephen, a great performance at cornerback yesterday. Just your thoughts on yesterday and even the celebrations that have passed since then.
I'm just want to say that I'm just proud of all the boys and what they've done yesterday. All the commitment they've put in all year. And Smacker over there messing about as usual. And no, it's just everybody put in a whole load of effort all year. From everybody in the whole team and the management too.
Was it hard to keep your place, Stephen? Was the competition very tight? Yeah.
It was deadly. Everybody just had to fight and do their best. A lot of disappointments for not getting on the county final day.
Yeah, and we better not let it pass without mentioning Paul Nugent, of course, Noodles, who's missed out on the. Tomas want to say something about Paul?
I was saying, very start since semi-final, we said we'd give Noodles a county final to play, and then he wasn't allowed to play in it. But then we said today that we'd give him a Ulster final to play in, and that's what we're going to do.
Of course, when you say the Ulster, we're talking about the St Paul's tournament, right? You'd obviously be in with a great chance of that, boys. Kevin?
Well, I'm totally honest with you, Paul. I never actually went in to see what way the tournament was going. At the start of the year, we were concentrating on winning a county minor final, and we done that. And that from now on, I'm going to have to go tomorrow now and find out what the situation is, what the score is. I absolutely know nothing about it. But just on the Noodles fact, we were training the other night, and we got the physio Noodles this last fortnight. We got him strapped up, and something that just stuck in me was he was training, and we were sitting watching him, and we knew he was limping, And I just want to make a tribute to Paul Nugent. And he came up to me and I says, well, Paul, he says, I'm okay. I says, Paul, you're not. And he says, Scully, give me 10 minutes, please give me 10 minutes. And I could see a tear in his eye. I knew and he knew he wasn't fit to play. And it was so hard for me to turn around and say to him, I never had to do anything so hard in my life to say, I'm sorry, Paul, but you're not included. It was the hardest thing I ever had to do in my life. For a fella who put so much work in all year, who put so much effort in the 6 matches he played, 5 matches, he was outstanding in centre half back. And it makes up for far as I'm concerned, there's himself and the likes of Tommy Clark, who should have been actually McCrory Cup players, who should have been county minor players. But winning a minor championship, as far as I'm concerned, makes up for it. And it goes for the same as the fellas who were playing McCrory Cup football, who lost the McCrory Cup final. And I was there, and I'm sorry that happened, but I hope that winning a minor championship for Piarsaigh Óga makes up for that.
I've no doubt it will, Kevin. It's a very hard lesson for Paul. It is really hard. Tomas?
There's one thing that sticks to me, like, after you lost to McCrory, Kevin was with us, and Kevin goes, we'll have a county minor championship to fulfill it, like, and we've done it. And
this would make up, of course, you played in the McCrory Cup final in March. This would more than make up for that.
he promised it, like, and we're here now and we've done it. So just do it.
Okay, lads. Paul, final word. I think we better go to the captain of the team, historic minor winning captain. Tommy, just before I come to Paul, who was the last minor winning captain of Pearse Óga? Can you recall?
The last one I made captain
in 1983. 1983. Yeah. So from one All-Star to maybe a future All-Star, but certainly a Pearse Óga's All-Star. Paul, we'll leave the final word with you before we cut the interviews.
Well, it's a great privilege to be captain of this team. Words really can't express how much it is. 31 boys started out in January. They said they were going to win county championship. That's what we've done. And thanks very much to everybody who put it in. Thanks very much to Scully, Tommy, to Jago, to Franco, to Paul Grimley. Thanks very much to the whole lot of you. We couldn't have done it without you. Thanks very much to the whole lot of you. Just words can't express how much we feel for you. Thanks very much. That's just all I have to say.
Well said, Paul. And what I would like to say, just to finish with, Oliver, is that I would know that the backroom team that these boys had behind them. They are winners today, but the gentlemen that they had behind them, Kevin, Tommy, Franco, Paul Jackson and Paul Grimley, all know what it takes to win championships. They know the effort that has to be put in. And it was, as I said on the video, it was a great privilege for me to be able to do the video for these lads. Not just because a lot of them I had the privilege of teaching several years ago in the CBS, and I think we better mention Jimmy McKee and the work that he did at primary school level there. But a great victory for Pearse Óga. It's obvious the whole club is absolutely delighted, and the celebrations are going to go on for long many's a day, I would think, and we would wish them well in but I suppose it's now the official Ulster Club Minor Championship. So from the Toby Jug, good night and thank you.
Thank you.